Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and I'm coming to you today with an open reading for what is this? For Friday. Today is Friday. Oh my God. March 10th. We have the full moon in Virgo. I gave you guys, I think on the last video, a lot of different, we know that Mercury is going to be going retrograde on the 27th. Venus is already in retrograde. We have the transit of Mars and Uranus in Aries going on. Venus is also retrograded into Aries. For those of you who have your charts, really, please, I need you guys to kind of participate. So what I mean by that is, let's say, for instance, you have an issue or a question about work, okay? And we want to take a look at that through the astrology. Come over and tell me what the problem is that you're having, whatever the challenge is, okay? And particularly if you see anything that matches the degrees and the sign in your chart. So I've already posted up some transit watches. You guys are as silent as the grave. And I'm trying to offer this to you to kind of help you. But what I need is not somebody to come over and say to me, well, I have Pisces at 23 Aries. Okay, what's going to happen for me? Well, how do I know? You're not telling me what your challenge is. So I need to know what your challenge is. And then I can take a look at the chart factors, your chart, and kind of tell you what it means and what could possibly happen for you, if anything at all. Because of course it, depends on other factors. So that would help me out a lot. I am going to go into the classes. I'm going to really get to work on that. I've got some of this syllabus done, and then I have a whole lot more stuff to do. I'm also looking for some kind of transcription or translation software so that I can post the documents in different languages. Okay. I had a reading with a client yesterday who's actually a translator, and I've got to get back with her and see what information she can provide and share with me so that I can translate the documents into different languages. I want everybody to be able to at least have access in written form I think I've got the captions open on each of my videos. So if anybody wants to do captioning, have at it in your native language. I thought about trying to take that on myself, but there's a lot of things that I have going on, and I'm only one person. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to say. Oh, and I want to extend an apology to those who follow me on Twitter. Y'all had to see me pull my Trump card on the Lenovo company yesterday, but I've been dicking with those people for 3 weeks on a repair status, and I have just had it. So please, my apologies. I like to keep my Twitter feed clean without a lot of stuff to upset other people. But I was at my wit's end with them. So welcome new subscribers to the channel. Old subscribers, thank you for sticking with me. You can find me as well, not only on Twitter, but you can find me on Tumblr. You can also find me on Facebook. The Facebook link, it's a private group, is in the About box section. So you can go over there after the video if you'd like and join me on Facebook. For my Facebook group, thank you so much. You guys are so awesome for sticking with me. Now, we're going to do this open reading, and we're going to do it for the full moon phase. Now, as we know, or maybe you don't know, full moons are times to start something new. Okay. So in effect, we kind of have 2 weeks to start a new project before we hit the Mercury retrograde. And so, once you hit the Mercury retrograde on the 27th of March, what you want to do is maybe slow down that new project if you can. And whatever that project may be for you, a new relationship, a new personal goal to lose weight, whatever that is, you want to kind of review over some things, maybe what you can change, what you can tweak, what you can leave out, things of that nature. We also know that during retrogrades, that old lovers return, and particularly on Venus retrogrades. But what we must keep in mind is that once Venus and even Mercury turns back direct, that can fizzle out. So, you know, this is a time for you to kind of review. If this is an old lover coming back and you've got a 2-week window starting with this full moon to do something new about it, then you really want to take a look at what can be done new, if anything, okay, from your end. So we're going to be using, I have not used these cards since, I don't know, July or August. We're going to be using the, now I can't even think of the name of them. The Prisma Tarot. Okay, these cards, love them. And I haven't used them in quite a while. So we're going to do a 9-card spread to see what could possibly be coming up around this full moon. This is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. In order to gain any insight into your situation does require a personal reading. You can go over to the website, click on the little eye that's going to be up in the right-hand corner that will take you directly over to the website. I do ask, if you're trying to book a phone reading with me, that before you submit a payment and or the booking form, and you have to do both, that you read the important information on booking, okay? Because that'll tell you pretty much everything you need to know. Somebody booked a reading and they said, well, do I have to have Viber? Yeah, you got to have Viber. It's in the important information on booking. So it will tell you everything you need to know about how I conduct the readings. If you want a video reading, that everything you need to know is on that tab that says private video readings. Okay. For those of you who have not, who are wondering where my monthlies are, I have moved my monthlies over to the website. That is a membership option. There's more than just the tarot individual videos there. So you can take a look and see if you're interested in purchasing a membership option. There are 3 different levels. And what all comes with that. I have the, what do you call them? The Levita Sabilas for clarification. I have the Angel Answer cards and the Heart Oracle Tarot. Okay, so this reading will be for same-sex and or heterosexual couples, however it applies. So let's get started. We're going to put down 9 cards. The King of Chalices or the King of Cups. The 10 of Swords, the Star card, the Page of Wands, the World card, the Page of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the Empress, there's our Venus energy, and the Chariot. And underneath the deck, I have the 2 of Swords. So whatever this situation, the overall energy is there's still some confusion or non-clarity surrounding this situation. Now, for those of you who do not know the tarot, it is divided into 2 distinct groups. The first group, 22 cards, known as the Major Arcana. These are our life lessons and spiritual lessons. Then we have the second group known as the Minor Arcana or the Pip cards. These are our numbered cards, for instance, like the 2 of Swords, but they also include our court cards, our pages, kings, queens, and knights. Okay. Now I have 2 pages here to start off. And pages always bring news and messages. And within the spread itself, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Major Arcana cards. The Major Arcana cards take more weight. Even if there were only 1 Major Arcana, it will hold more sway over the entire reading than the Pip cards. Why? Because these are our spiritual and our life lessons. So our Major Arcana cards are the Star, the World. I don't know if you can see these. These are beautiful cards. I absolutely adore them. The Empress, okay, and the Chariot. So these are our 4 Major Arcana. Out of 9 cards, this tells me that, you know, you kind of got a bit of control over this, but not a lot. Okay. And maybe this is why our overall energy is the Two of Swords, because this card can be a standstill, or it can be about mediation, or it can be about yeah, really just kind of a standstill. So right in the center, I have the World card. And the World card is all about the completion of cycles. And we are, in one respect, talking about the moon. So whenever we have a full moon coming up, we have gone through a complete month of a cycle. The moon is the fastest moving planetary body in the universe. It changes, you know, it moves every 2.5 days. Okay. So the moon affects us emotionally. It deals with our emotions. It deals with our psychology, hidden psychology. It speaks about women. It speaks about the home, those things that nurture and hold you, those people who hold and nurture you, what you consider to be home. It can also speak to the karmic energy of heritage and lineage. Where do you come from? What was your mother? What did your mothers do? What did your grandmother do? What did your grandmother's grandmother do? Okay. It can also be about heredity. I have two court cards here. I have a King of Cups, known as the King of Chalices here. And I have a Page of Wands. Oh, three. I'm sorry. And a Page of Swords. So I have three court cards here. I always read the pages as news and messages. I don't always read them as people. I also, if they present as people, they speak to me about either the way in which somebody does something, okay, or the energy surrounding those people in terms of the way they accomplish something or get their message across. So what I'm looking at is for someone out there, and again, this is same-sex or heterosexual, I think we are dealing with a water sign individual, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. First card down. Here we go. And there is indeed some type of, I don't know, ending to a cycle involving this individual. Why do I say that? I have the Ten of Swords. Now, in the traditional Ten of Swords, this is the card of being at rock bottom, of kind of giving up. It is the darkest before the dawn. But here in this particular deck, what we have is an individual trapped in a wheel of swords, being kind of carried off by this, and this is actually a swan here, which I find to be quite interesting that it's a swan, because those birds are considered to be, quote unquote, they're mated for life. They're lovebirds. Okay. Tarot requires a lot of different things. There's numerology, there's symbology, there's astrology, there's lots of things involved in it. So that is the message. The fact that the individual is trapped inside of a wheel of swords, the swords themselves simply represent thoughts, ideas, belief, communications, perceptions, and ideas. So this is about someone who may be continually thinking about a situation that has ended. Okay, it's a 10. Tens represent the ending of something. But then here is the Star card. And the Star card speaks to the astrology. It speaks to the cosmology. It also speaks to clarity and illumination. It speaks to hopes, wishes, and dreams. I'm not picking up from this card that this particular ending and this very, very tough position of this Ten of Swords. Sometimes this can, for me, being carried away by this swan, to me, the energy of that is that it is someone who kind of feels maybe they're thinking, this can be an obsessional thinking, but they think that, you know, really that there's no control over the situation. None whatsoever. They're literally being carried away or carried off by things that they feel they have no control over. But that's not true, because this is a pip card and you have control. The pip cards simply represent things in the mundane level. In other words, if you've been obsessively thinking about something or going over something in your mind, something that has ended, the only way you can change that is to gain a little bit of clarity on why that is. It could be that you might have to go back and revisit it. Maybe you can give it an opportunity to do it a different way or communicate in a different manner. Or maybe the clarity and the recognition that, okay, that shit's over with now. Now it's time for us to move on. The second row, and I'm sorry, this is past, present, future, past, present, and future. The second row, which represents the present, we have a page of wands, the world card, and the page of swords. I feel that these are messages. I also feel that this is the manner in which two people have been communicating. One perhaps has been more passionate and emotional. The wands simply represent your motivation, your desire, and your drive. In order for you to attain anything, first you got to be motivated to go out and get it, right? So here is the world card, and the world card says, well, whatever that was, that message, that passionate, ambitious, maybe even pushy message that has come through, it was in effect kind of, you know, I'm looking at this card and there's a portal way here. And I think the reading that I did a few days ago, I spoke about the Destiny's Gate. And there was one August 2015. It started, I think, in July. And then it culminated in August 2015. And the reason why I say that, I don't really know why that's coming through, but that is a portal way. Now, we also have another configuration coming up very, very soon where I forget where something's going to align with the galactic center. And I'll probably have to do an article about that on this website. But what I'm looking at in this card is this portal way. But out of this portal way, there are all of these animals that are coming out here. There's the peacock. There's the swan. Here is a lion. In the center is an eye. I'm sorry that if you can't see that, but there's the swan. Here are the peacock feathers. Here is the lion. The lion is swallowing a dove. And then the eye in the center. So to me, this is typically what I have done. I had to go back and take a look at what the Destiny's Gate meant. And it is some kind of sensitive point that touches your vertex. It's known as the point of destiny. And typically this is when an event occurs or you meet someone who really is going to shape your destiny moving forward. Does that mean that you're going to spend time with that person and be in relationship with that person? No, it simply means, now traditionally there are some astrologers who believe that yes, this is the time when you meet your mate, but let's be realistic. The truth of the matter is you may meet someone who's like that, but the world card is also a karmic card. So this could be simply someone from a past life coming back. But this person has come back in order to help shape your destiny, okay? They are the destined individual, the fated individual, but depending on the circumstances, okay? So your task now, your spiritual lesson, your life lesson, if you're not able to be with that person, is to figure out, what do I do with this? How do I take this sad situation, somebody that I met who's the perfect individual for me, but for whatever reason we can't be together, some kind of maybe karmic retribution, but it still speaks to life lessons. And it's saying, well, what do I do with that pain? What do I do with this thing that I can't, what do I do with it? And that is how you tend to shape your destiny. There is a French proverb that says, sometimes your destiny is found on the road, you choose to avoid it, okay? Here I have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords are about very airy messages. These are not emotion-based. These are logic-based messages. There is some truth in it because the Page of Swords, he's a student of communication, and he will take risk in terms of communicating his ideas, his perceptions, his beliefs in order to get to the truth of something. So we're dealing with two different styles of communication here, okay? And in the center, we have the World card. So we could say, with this portal way open, we can say that this is a convergence, okay, of two styles of communication. Maybe the two people involved, and I only see the one person here if I'm going to just take it at face value, this King of Cups. This could be simply that this King of Cups himself is trying to bring together two different styles of communication. It could be that whomever this King of Cups is involved in with this Ten of Swords situation is about two different styles of communication. How do we find the center of that? Where is the balance between those two things? Balance is not really what I'm getting out of this, but it's kind of like that's the message being given to me. This could have been arguments, heated arguments, okay? But sometimes this can be about the meeting of someone from a past life who maybe is your enemy, your secret, your hidden enemy, but most definitely that there's some unfinished karma from a past life at work and at play here. Now, here on the bottom row, I have the Nine of Wands, the Empress, and the Chariot. The Empress is all about wealth, abundance, growth, expansion, pregnancy, birth, but she rules Venus, and Venus rules values and self-value, okay? So this can play out in the sense that this could be an issue over finances and property, bank accounts and money. Maybe someone has more money than the other one or has more property than the other one. Maybe this is a fear that the person has why they don't want to join forces. But it also speaks to understanding the value that you yourself have, okay? When people who have Venus retrograde have a very, very difficult time expressing love. They are very suspicious and they think that people don't love them and that people only want to be with them because of the things that they have. So the worst lot of a Venus retrograde person is someone who can literally push someone away who really loves and cares for them, who really values them and sees the value, not for the things that they have, but for the person that they are. And I feel in one respect that this King of Chalice here, this has been a problem for him in some way. The Page of Wands is typically somebody who's extremely impulsive, can sometimes jump to conclusions, but so can the Page of Swords. But the Page has this desire to move forward rather rapidly and may not always give thought to the consequences of their actions. And here we have the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands speaks to, you can see this person, I don't know if you can, that figure there. He's like camouflaged. He's, camouflaged. He's got on a cloak of flowers and he's hanging up against a tree and he's holding one. So if you were to pass this person by in this wilderness, this forest, you wouldn't even see them perhaps depending upon, where you were looking. So to me, it's indicative of someone who is perhaps has a deep desire, but is afraid. Okay? So here is the Empress to say, well, that's something you're going to have to work on. Why? That's a spiritual lesson. That's a life lesson. And nobody can enhance your value but you. You can be with people who make you feel better and who value you. But if you don't value yourself, then those people that are going to be around you aren't going to value. So you're going to have to figure out, once you increase your self-worth and your value, then you're going to meet those people who appreciate the same things in you. We have the Chariot here, and the Chariot speaks to movement. It speaks to focus. It speaks to determination. Now, I have this diagonal of the King of Cups, the World card, and the Chariot. I feel that this king is perhaps in a vortex, and some kind of emotional vortex. Could even be experiencing some kind of perhaps maybe psychic phenomenon. And this is driving them, literally driving them forward, whether they choose to or not. I think that sometimes things occur, and this could have been all due to this Destiny's Gate. And that keeps coming across for me with this World card. Now, down the center, the vertical present column, Ten of Swords, we're looking at a disappointment, or maybe somebody who has a victim mentality. Sometimes I will see this combination where it comes up where the person always has difficulty in relationships. And then they feel like victimized. Okay. But this card, the Ten of Swords, says, you know what? Underneath that Ten of Swords with this World card, well, you know, the time for that has changed now. So you can either stay in this vortex, this black hole of feeling that way, or you can simply drop yourself and pass through the vortex. You can do that, okay? To come out on the other side. You see this person is floating in the air. They have, you know, light all around them. The crown of stars. So this is some kind of clarity coming through. The very last row, I do feel if you've been waiting to hear from someone, and perhaps this individual is a King of Cups, then we have the Star with the World and the Nine of Wands. And to me, this kind of says that all hope is not lost. The person may still have a few things that they have to work out. There's still this element of not wanting to surface or to show themselves. They're still rather camouflaged right now. But this vertical column here of the Star, the Page of Swords, and the Chariot, this speaks to me to some type of clarity in communication. This could simply be an opportunity to clarify a few things so that there is some kind of movement forward. What kind of movement forward? Who's to say? We see the Two of Swords here, and this could simply be saying that this opportunity will come up, okay? But there could be some delay on it, because this card can sometimes speak to a standstill. So in other words, you may reach out to someone, or someone may reach out to you. You may reach out to someone and there could be a delay on hearing back from them. Maybe because they've got to, you know, take some time to think about how they want to respond or what it is they really want to say. I also feel that if you're waiting, it's two messages and I just lost the second one. You see, look, let me explain it this way. There's that King of Cups, and here's this page. And maybe this is about the person not trusting what they get, the information that they get. So they're just going to kind of lurk out in the background a little bit to kind of wait things out to see exactly what's going on. The desire is there. Why do I say that? Because, well, it's a Wands card. And I think it will be a struggle for this person if they decide not to respond back. I think that's going to be a very, very difficult struggle for them, because this spread is saying that there's an opportunity to move through this. No matter how it turns out on the other side, this is an opportunity for some healing to come about. Now, I'm going to go to the Sibilas. This Two of Swords says that, you know, there's still a being of two minds about something. Pages really are that. It's like it's a new page. It's a new energy that has come in. But in order to take advantage of those new energies, you have to kind of be willing to ride it out, okay? Or drive through whatever it is that I kind of sense in one respect that there's some depression perhaps going on for this king surrounding this situation. Why do it's right in the center of the card, of the spread. And everything else is happening around this portal way that's open. I have no repeater cards here. I have a 10, a 9, a 7, a 2, and number 17. Now that's an 8 in the numerology, 8. This is an 8. No, I'm sorry. That's a 5 and 2. That's a 7. I don't know what I just said. So this is, eights are good numbers. You have gone through, you're on your way to the 9 and the 10, a completion of a cycle. But the 7 says that there is still some type of internal conflict going on here. And I feel in one respect, what do I do? How do I move through this vortex? How do I move through this black hole? How do I move through this? And sometimes what will happen is when you don't make a move, the universe will come in and move the situation for you. So what I want to do is take a look at this, what the Ten of Swords is telling me. I want to take a look, and you know, there are 2 wands and 2 swords. So it's kind of within the spread. So it's kind of evenly balanced between the desire to do something and either thinking about doing it, or thinking about how it's going to be done, or thinking about whether it should be done at all. Okay? And that's really what I'm getting. But there's some kind of clarity of truth coming here. And this clarity of truth is designed to move things forward. Now, sometimes I will see the World card with the Chariot card when there is a move indicated, a literal, like a home move of some sort. There are no pentacles here. And to me, the pentacles don't just represent a financial situation. They also represent the actual doing of something. So I do have an Earth card being represented here. Okay. And Earth is very practical. It's very grounded. This may be the energy of the other individual. The Star card represents both Venus and Aquarius. So this is a lot of energy. This could also be speaking to this moment coming about not only through the eclipse, but also moon energy. Why do I say that? There's a moon right there in that card. Okay. The fact that I keep picking up on these peacock feathers here. Now, in Roman astrology, the peacock is a symbol that represents the asteroid, the goddess known as Juno. She is the goddess of commitment and marriage. But let's be categorically clear. Not everyone is interested in actual marriage. Some people are married to their friendships. Some people are married to their causes. Some people are married to their jobs. So it is about who and what you commit yourself to, and who and what is most valuable to you. What will you sell your soul for? What will you not sell your soul for? That is the value of self-value. Okay? I mean, if you're going to sell your soul to someone or something, you want to make damn sure that they're going to value that, right? Okay. So, and that you're going to get something out of it too. Love and money are the flip sides of 2 different sides of the same coin. So let's take a look at what this Ten of Swords is trying to tell us here. This is, and sometimes I just see this card as a major disappointment. Perhaps this is saying that the person had flighty ideas to begin with. Okay? Ideas that were never really based in a grounded standpoint. And now, whatever the situation is, they're having to drop through this particular portal to come back to Earth. Okay? So let's see what this is talking about. Sometimes this can be about perfectionism and expecting people to be perfect, or expecting relationships to be perfect. Like there's never going to be arguments. There's never going to be disagreements. The person ain't as short or as tall or as thin or as what y'all call it, thick, you know. But it still speaks to thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and beliefs. Okay. Ten of Swords. Yeah, well, it's kind of, there's the desperate jealousy. Remember, I was saying this is someone who's going over a situation over and over. It's an excessive attachment to a situation. What the cards are telling me here, I have the Dottore, the Sacerdote, and the desperate jealousy. Now, these 2 cards alone might be an indication that someone is in therapy or should go to therapy, and maybe this is how they're going to, because that's a healing card, the Star. The doctore is a professional, so he's going to be like a doctor or a counselor or a lawyer. The sacerdote can also be a psychologist or a counselor, someone that you can confide in. But here we have this desperate jealousy, someone who is excessively attached to whatever these two things are speaking about. The other message that comes with that is that maybe someone is weighing up or has some kind of flighty ideas of or there's a conflict between wanting to help and wanting to stay single, and they can't, they're conflicted about that. Let's take a look at the Page of Swords. That's the next card I wanted to take a look at. I love the sound of rain. It's raining. It's not very nice because it's a flash flood and the pollen count is ridiculous. But the sound is very lovely. Page of Swords. Well, isn't that something? There is a message coming in. You see, I think someone thinks that that was the end of something. Here we have the Amore card. And here we have the Messaggere. The Messaggere is the card of a message from far away. Now, it doesn't tell me if the nature of the message or the outcome of the message is going to be positive or negative, but it definitely is a message from far away concerning deep feelings and emotion, and something that perhaps someone thought was dead and gone. And to me, this is a card of mourning. Okay, and this may be why we have this World card here in the center, because it does speak to like a vortex, that the person is trapped in this particular vortex. But when they come out on the other side, here's this beautiful Empress card here. Okay, the wealth and the beauty and the abundance, which is what the Empress is all about. She co-rules Taurus and she co-rules Libra, the second house and the seventh house. And we can see that there's been a real struggle here, this Nine of Wands. Somebody not wanting to reveal themselves in terms of whatever this Venus card is speaking about. So we're going to take a look at that Nine of Wands there. That's an internal struggle. And you can even see that, the vehicle is it has the dove on it. So that says that there's a measure of protection here. Okay, and this car is driving in the rain, in the dark. All it has is the headlights. So I feel that this is someone who is slowly perhaps making their way through this particular vortex here. I have the Precious Presence, a gift not unselfish. Alegria, pastime or happiness with family and friends. And then I have the card of the L'Amica, which is the person of confidence. This is the relationship of trust, and you're a confidant. So I'm, kind of puzzled because these are two different things. This is about family and friends, but this is a separate and completely different type of relationship. In other words, this person is not a part of the group already, okay? And this nine speak to an isolation. So this could literally be someone who, through friends and family, does have, a lot of gifts and a lot of blessings and things to be happy with, but is struggling themselves for this kind of relationship. That's very interesting. Now, I want to pull cards on the Two of Swords so that we can perhaps get a somewhat idea of what this conflict or this being of two minds, of what the standstill is all about. Now, the swords are air cards, and we do know that we are having the eclipses in air. Libra is an air sign. We have Mercury coming up in retrograde. That is an air sign. So this could just simply be telling us that there's going to be a hold up. So in other words, if you hear from someone, if you send a message and you receive one back, please do not jump the gun and assume that everything's going to, the pace is going to pick up very quickly. I would think that this is something that would take, particularly if this person is rather skittish. The Chariot is not a fast moving vehicle. It is a war vehicle. So it could take a long time for it to get to where it needs to go. But rest assured, it will eventually arrive at its destination. We can infer in one respect that it might take them even longer because there's bad weather. We see that there's rain there. This could be a delay. Maybe someone is wanting to travel, but that travel may be delayed in some respect, maybe due to bad weather. We do have the Mercury, and Mercury is known for bad weather, as is Uranus. That's why we've been seeing, these spark fires and weird ass tornadoes at the strangest time of the year. And there's been avalanches, and, there's, it was 68 degrees in Antarctica last week. 68 degrees. I don't know what the hell that is in Celsius, but it's hot. Okay? It ain't supposed to be like that. So, strange weather patterns. Well, this is about, I think, a new, you see, the twos represent a duality, and they represent a harmony and a balance. And so maybe this Two of Swords is telling me that someone is really, really a little confused about what do they need to do to bring about the balance. There's a conflict here. There was an imbalance here. And I say that because the three cards that have come out on the Two of Swords, a bit of non-clarity, someone who is blindfolded but is trying to swing at, there's a butterfly. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. There's a butterfly right there. And that person is sitting on a stool blindfolded, swinging knives, swords at a butterfly. Something that would not hurt him. And something that, should he choose to look at it, could perhaps transform him. He will realize that it is not something that he has to fight against, but that it should probably be something that he should embrace and allow it to touch him. I don't know if you've ever had a butterfly kiss. It's quite lovely. Where they will land on your hand or on your arm or something, and you can actually feel the little legs sticking to you and the little wings as they flutter. It's known as a butterfly kiss. The reason why I say this is because the three cards that have come out to kind of give us a little bit of understanding of to what the nature of this Two of Swords. The Bambino, something new. The Lamante, male, same sex or heterosexual. Okay, this is a requited love. And then the La Vida Sabila has two distinct cards that deal with happiness. They have the happiness of friends and family, but they also have the happiness of the heart. And that speaks to that type of relationship. Okay? Now, does the Two of Swords tell us that, does these three cards explain that this is going to be the outcome? No, it doesn't. Why? Because this person can decide that they would prefer to stay blindfolded, swinging those swords at that butterfly. It's their choice. What is interesting is underneath the deck, I have the Eight of Wands. Now, there is really nothing in this card to really give us an indication. But I think what stands out the most is the fact that it's 8 trees on the bank that face a river. And rivers imply what? Travel and movement. Water in the tarot represents emotions. This could be as still waters runs kind of deep. We still have not seen our way clear yet. We're not standing on the very edge of the bank, but we're standing in the thicket. Okay, we can see the river, but we haven't walked up and decided whether or not we're going to jump in, forge it, cross it. But 2 8s, I would now have 2 8s here, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, the star card would break down to an 8. Wouldn't it? A 10 and a 7? Oh, that's 2 7s. I can't add, y'all. This 8 of Wands speaks to a change. In the traditional tarot, the 8 wands speak to travel by air, love at first sight, messages coming in. And sometimes the warning with this card is really, you know, be careful what you have set in motion, because once it starts, all you're going to be able to do is hang on. Well, some of us may like that. Some of us may not like that. But it definitely speaks to something coming in or coming towards you, and coming at a relatively fast rate. Now, you know, there is no timing in the tarot. It is all relative. It is called universal time or divine right timing. That's what it's about. So just know that, you know, if that is the case, we do have this Mercury retrograde. Shit could screech to a halt. What do? Remain grounded and maintain the hope of the star card, and remain determined and focused to just put one foot in front of the other until the situation can right itself. It's almost kind of like a hurry up and wait. What's most interesting to me is that I have the Chariot and the 8 of Wands, and that can sometimes be an indication of having to travel and having to travel, taking 2 modes of transportation. In other words, getting there in the quickest, fastest way possible. Okay? Let's pull an angel answer card. So for those of you that reading did not address any issues, I mean, that could be anything. It could be traveling for business. What, you know, look, what do I know? Okay? I just read cards. So if this reading did not answer any of your questions, please formulate a question in your mind. Maybe the angel answer card will answer that question, or provide you some solace and comfort, or perhaps kind of point you in the direction of what you should or should not do. Should you have to, everything kind of comes to a halt. Okay? The power of positive thinking. Well, the power of positive thinking not only extends to absolutely having belief and firm foundation that things are going to work out right, because sometimes we do that, and then what it is, like that 10 of Swords, we're really not basing what we're thinking in a realistic standpoint. So the power of positive thinking can be, yes, but what if things don't go? I mean, because the other person has a choice, right? Then the power of positive thinking comes in to say, you know what? That happened, but I believe that I can get over this, or I believe that I can turn this situation around, or I believe that even though this may have happened to me, that there is something for me out there. Okay? People are like, well, that's really not, that's like questioning. No, not necessarily. I think in one respect, we have to allow for the universe knowing better than we know. Okay? And that is a life lesson. Now, what I'm going to do is try to sum this reading up with the Heart Oracle Tarot. And then we're going to be done. I have some things to do. I don't even know what. I have a whole list. But I'm not exactly sure. One card to kind of just wrap this all up. Well, how about that? Believe and succeed. Now, I want you to take a look at this. If you believe, I don't know if you can, I'm trying to figure out how to hold it so you can read it. Man, one of these days, if you believe and succeed. Well, and that, people, is the Six of Swords. And what you are looking at in this card is the bow of a boat. And we don't know who's driving that boat, who's steering that boat, who has their hand on the rudder or the wheel. But it is speaking, as you can see, there's a light in the distance, and the bow of that boat is lined up directly with that light. So this is about something moving forward, and this is about some kind of clarity coming. And you know, this is a third reference now of travel, so it ends with the Chariot, the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Swords, and that is the card of either physically moving away or psychologically moving away. It may even be both. Okay? Wow. Well, that's what you have. I hope that message helped. Wow, I didn't realize this was almost an hour. So until next time, namaste.